It's episode 1275, and it's the Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang. Joining me from Loverland, Virginia is Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Nashville, our managing editor downtown, Emily Brown.
Hey, y'all.
And there in LA, you know from Social Club Misfits, it's Marty.
We made it, guys. We're here.
We did make it. Marty, you've only been on one video podcast, so we're glad to see you.
It's good to be back.
I think Marty or Jesse didn't get the memo that we're wearing hats today. Jesse, you more than anybody need a hat today.
I desperately need a hat. I know it's been.
Never seen you without a hat.
Every time I look on Zoom, I'm like, I really need a haircut. I think, I don't know about you guys, I just don't like the process of getting haircuts for a number of reasons. It's very disruptive to my schedule.
What?
Which I'm a free flowing guy. I don't like appointments. You know, I feel pinned down. I feel pinned down with appointments, you know?
That's your.
Where do you go get a haircut also? Because that's a question I don't know. Where does a white guy get a haircut? I know it sounds weird to say, but I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up, Marty, because there's a number of options for us. We're people with this
America is built around accommodating white men.
Yeah.
The needs of white men.
I just don't know. I've only
Let's
been
talk
to
about that.
Dominican or Puerto Rican barbershops. I don't even know where my dad gets his haircut. So yeah, help us out.
Well, I'll just say this: like, there are like the strip mall options, which are often convenient these days. But then you can go to like the barber shops, which are fun and chatty. But you know, my thing is like you just never know how long of a commitment you're in for a lot of times, and that's my main thing. Is like
if you have an appointment, you're in and out. Like you know exactly how long it's going to take.
But here's the other thing too. I don't like the bib situation. I get very hot in there.
What?
Like I feel like they need to be better ventilated. Sometimes I get sweaty, and I'm like, it's just unpleasant.
Where are you going? Where are you going? They are thin, sheer fabric that barely weigh anything.
It's like the dentist when you go to like weighted blanket to get like an X-ray. That's what he wears when he gets a haircut.
Also, sorry, are they not only like 20 minutes for a guy's haircut?
All of the reason I think
excruciating 20 minutes. Excruciating. No, I've been getting haircuts my whole life.
Minimum, like I think the shortest haircut I've ever gotten, I was still in the chair for an hour.
Oh wow.
Yeah, mine's an hour.
It's very unpleasant.
A diva.
It's very unpleasant.
I don't go to supercuts. I go to like the fancy places.
I have gone to the fancy,
the head massages and stuff.
The salon.
I've gone to all of them. I run into the same problem at each, which is like I said. Obviously, you get on my off time. I don't like to have anything scheduled. I'm liquid. Okay, I like to go with the wind. All right, I get a text like, "Hey, you want to go do this? Yeah, man, let's do it." I got nothing booked. When I got something booked, it hangs over my head all day. It's like, well, it's right in the middle of the day. I got a 2:00 hair appointment, so my whole day's all jammed up. That's my thing. I know. It's like, well, I got to be there, and then I can't go anywhere right from there and be all itchy. I got to take quick rinse off. The whole day's ruined.
It depends on where you get your haircut.
Nice barbershop.
I don't think you should be itchy.
I'm not going home itchy. You're going in, they go zzz, go, and they push you out the door like a conveyor belt. Yeah,
that's what I want. That's what I want.
Supercuts or sports clips sometimes can go really quick. You know, do you have like like one person you go to see or
no?
Okay,
there's
your issue. There's your issue. Yeah.
I say first available. First available.
That's
please.
why you're wearing hats all the time. You have to make sure that you
60-year-old lady that just got out of her hair
rehab.
School. You know,
I don't mind.
Dude.
Maybe both.
Rehab. You ain't learning on my head. Yeah, I'm good.
I don't care. They got to learn somehow. You know, just give me in and out. I got places to be.
You should go to the school. You can get that haircut very quickly.
Oh yeah, probably.
It's like $1
discount. Yeah,
it literally is like a $2 haircut. Yeah,
I mean they do like a cool design in your head, but it'll be like way cheaper. So.
Yeah,
and you're the first like non-mannequin head that they've done.
Yeah. It's always and they're holding
shaking
their stuff like
as
this.
What would you guys do in this situation? As the stylist is cutting, she nicked herself. Okay,
Ooh, her own self. Okay,
yes,
with scissors or with the clippers.
Oh, yeah. And you know, she's trying to ascertain how much damage it is, and let's just say she needed bandages mid haircut, but the damage is already done. Okay, you get what I'm saying? Like,
wait, bandages for you or for her?
No, for her hand.
There's blood all over everywhere.
Yeah, in my hair. And so at that point,
you getting a free shampoo? Are you getting a free shampoo to get the blood out of your hair?
I was kind of just like, I got to get out of here as quickly as
Yeah.
possible.
Do I tip?
Like that?
Like,
Do I tip?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, what do I do in the, you know, I being honest with you, being on the road for over 15 years, I've seen my fair share of barbers, but I could tell you who has true strength, true leadership, true just skills to advance our culture. Those are the people who in the middle of the haircut are getting a bad haircut and say, stop, you're not doing a good job. That takes a lot of, it takes a lot of
You've
guff.
seen that happen. I've never seen that happen.
I've done it happen, and only reason why is because I've seen Fern do it so many times. In my band, Fern will be like, "No, you're not good." Next, and like,
wait.
I feel like
so you don't stop and then offer feedback.
I have actually video of it.
Get it better. You say you're fired. Bring in somebody else.
Yeah, you're done.
It's like
you're done.
It's like a speed dating reality show.
Yes,
like
it is.
Yeah,
I have a video of a famous
Who gets
barber.
paid?
Well, I don't know. I don't think
the
anyone
person
gets
who finishes
paid.
the cut or the beginning of the cut.
We're splitting it, but what's it called? I have video of a famous barber, and Fern is getting a haircut, and the guy did something he didn't like, and he went, "Stop! You're not. You don't got it. You don't have it." And the guy's like, and it's on video, and he's like, "You don't have it." And the guy just didn't know what to do. So, the head of the barbershop came over and finished the haircut for Fern. And then he would just, pay the guy, walked out. And it was like a weird, it's always like the parent, when you're watching your dad, like yell at somebody and you're like, sorry, like I'm just connected.
My stomach hurts. That is the most insane thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I could give you the feedback that we didn't quite land where I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
But I'll just put on a hat for a couple weeks and then go get a regular cut with somebody else. I'm not going to like destroy their life and career.
Sometimes you have to.
Wow.
He's like the Gordon Ramsay of haircut.
Yeah.
He's the Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah. He'll be like,
barbers are crying in the corner. Yeah.
Seriously, the worst thing about it is when you see someone do that and they're like, I've been getting a haircut for 40 years. This is the first time. And then the person who's cutting your hair is like, okay. So I've done it before where somebody first, as soon as I moved to California, I even took pictures of it, sent it to my friends. My hair was so bad that I literally, he was like, hey, do you want to book next month's appointment? And I said, I will never come back here ever again. I go, God bless you, brother, but you do not know how to handle Italian wavy hair. He was Korean too. So I'm like thinking, because they have different hair. I know it's like in the realm of racism or I don't know, but it just, I don't think he had it. I just don't think he had it.
I wonder how many like careers Fern has just ended. Like they're like they just lost their
caterers,
like,
barbers,
caterers. Yeah, that's what I want to know. Is it just barbers, or will he tell everyone you're not doing a good job?
He'll stop you in the middle of you working, and he'll tell you no. Like there's been times where, like when we were in LA a couple years ago, we were doing an interview in a podcast. And it was like early podcasting years. So that'd be 2018. And I remember it was Carl Lentz had just done a interview in 60 Minutes. And, they always try to sneak in at that time. Like, what do you think about gay marriage? What do you think about, they always try to get Christians. And I remember the person asked us, and this is on camera too. And Fern goes, are you trying to catch me? Are you trying to like start, like just flipped it? And the guy was like so apologetic for bringing it up because Fern was like, are you trying to like ruin my, like, what are you trying to do here? Like the way that he called him out in the middle of, he's like, we're not doing that. Like, and it's a very common thing where he'll be like, if he doesn't like whatever's happening, he will not proceed. He'll be like, stop, we're not doing this right now. And so,
wow.
Yeah, he's just, I don't know what that is called in the English language. But we got to figure out that term of somebody who has no shame, will just tell you like it is. I don't know. What is that, Jesse?
I feel like it's courage for one. It's I
call it the anti-Jesse. Jesse's never going to do that.
I would also call
Jesse
it.
Jesse gets the massage and doesn't say anything, and they're hurting his back.
I would also call it maybe sociopathy.
Could be anything. It could be anything.
But the. It's
potato,
like,
potato, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know how in baseball, like every once in a while, someone playing third base will sail one on a throw to first and they get the yips and they can never make the throw again. Their confidence is destroyed. It's a real phenomenon called the yips.
The yips
right?
is a real thing, yeah.
You'll see a golfer take a bad swing, or someone just lose the ability to shoot free throws in basketball.
Markel
Like,
Fultz with his jump shot.
Yeah, they just never recover.
Yeah.
How many haircutters or barbers has Fern given the yips forever?
I'm gonna
Like,
say
he
it's
was
over
the
10.
last head of hair.
After
After that, they just
10.
lost their
even joking.
confidence.
Like, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not joking. It's over.
That's
10.
wild.
It's over.
Well,
10.
okay. We got to move the show along. A lot of fur and hair talk to start off this week.
Let's get them on.
Coming up,
Respectfully, no.
Coming up, we have somebody with fantastic hair that we could ask this to. Coming up, Chad Gardner from King's Kaleidoscope.
We should ask.
He's joining us. We should ask him his barber tips on the road. We have slices at the end of the show, and we, after this break, have Relevant Buzz. Okay, it's time for
Relevant Buzz.
Tell us what's happening at the intersection of faith and culture this week, Emily.
First thing I want to talk about is the ongoing SNAP funding freeze that's happening. There are currently 42 million Americans facing a food crisis right now, including 16 million children. And a lot of Christians are wondering, what can we do to help? When we posted about this on Instagram, it was really interesting to watch the comment section because people have a lot of thoughts about, is this something the government should handle? Is this something the churches should handle? And so I went and spoke with the managing director for Bread for the World, a woman named Heather Taylor, and she said the answer is really both. So donations to food pantries, obviously a good thing, but there is just simply no way that they will fill the gap that is needed. This is a quote from her. "This is only a temporary fix that doesn't meet the full need. Charities can't make up the billions in support that SNAP provides every month."
That's the interesting thing is like the arguments we were seeing is a lot of fiscal conservative, small government people were saying, if you're a Christian, Jesus said that Christians should be the one caring for the poor, and we shouldn't expect our government to spend our dollars to do charitable blah blah blah. And it's like, but when you talk to everybody in the food space, including who you spoke to for our article, they all are like, you don't understand the scale of this. The government, yes, the church should be involved, but the government providing the resources is absolutely necessary because the church can't meet the need that's out there all the time. So,
anyway. and Jesus also says, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, in a specific reference to not complaining about taxes or how they are spent. That's why he referenced Caesar, because it was giving it to an imperialist empire who was, subjugating the Jewish people. But also, to that point, when there was a government structure in the Old Testament, there was mandatory debt forgiveness after a certain period of time.
7 years, right? The year of Jubilee.
Yeah. And it was, so, you look at, there's also, rules about what amounts of food should be left on in fields for those that are hungry that shouldn't be harvested, so that they can,
right?
Well, that's a different thing. That's 10% of the harvest. But
aliens passing through your land, you're supposed to leave.
You had to leave, like anything that had like fallen on the ground, or or that.
So migrants
that
coming through would have food to eat,
would have something. But the point is that those weren't like viewed as sort of optional. Like, hey, this is something that a non-institutionalized community should be a non-institutionalized community effort. This was like, no, this is part of the deal of being a part of this, tribe or whatever, however it was classified. So anyway, I think that's an interesting.
Emily, the other thing I saw in the comments was a lot of people were saying, okay, so what can I do? I mean, this spending freeze is happening. And I know, like you've mentioned, your church on Sunday did a canned food drive, and other churches are doing stuff. You talked to her, and she kind of said, like, giving your leftover cans from your pantry isn't really going to address the need. Here's what you should do instead. What are those things that, if you want to do something, what can we do?
Yes. In regards to food pantries, she did say check with the local pantry to see what they need, because they probably don't need canned goods, but
your
there
canned
are
pumpkin
specific
filling from last Thanksgiving. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's probably the last thing they need.
Right.
But a lot of places will take things like diapers even, or toiletries. So like there are tangible things we can give, and we should do that. She said the biggest thing though is to contact your Congress representative relentlessly. and tell them that you want them to release the $5 billion in emergency funds, because there is money that has been set aside for issues like this, but it hasn't been released yet due to the government shutdown. And so she said that if we
but
just
they could release it during the shutdown, right? Because it's an emergency fund. Yeah.
Yes. So they just have to decide to do it. And so she said, just continually call them and think about it. I mean, like, how many texts and emails do we get from Congress all the time? We can give them a little taste of their own medicine, I think.
I opted out after. You still get them? I don't get.
They find a way to contact me.
Virginia just had elections, and I can tell you, I was inundated for both sides with relentless calling and text message. I told you guys one time I text one back and got in an argument with them about politics.
That was during the presidential cycle. I remember that.
Yeah, I was like, wow, there's someone on the other end of this, you know?
That's wild. What's the third thing she said? So advocate your government, contact your local food pantry to ask what they need before you donate. Don't just show up with a box. And then what's the third thing?
The third thing is volunteer, because while a lot of people are donating to food pantries, I saw a stat that was like 600%, or there's been an increase of 600% of donations. Someone's got to sort those out and actually distribute them to the community. So don't just drop off whatever they need. Try to stick around and help sort it, help deliver it, whatever you can do. Just volunteer, step up in any way that you can.
So whenever we talk about issues, justice issues that intersect with faith, we like to say, all right, this is a need. We as Christians, none of us are off the hook. We need to do something. Here's how to give your voice, your time, or your resources. Not all of us have time. Not all of us have resources. We all have a voice. So find something you can do, those three things. And I think we can make a difference, So
yeah. And we have links on our site under the articles if you want to find some organizations that you can partner with as well.
Awesome.
Switching gears, I want to talk about the Breakfast Club for a minute.
Wait, you're talking about food scarcity, and now you want to talk about the Breakfast Club and just rub it in our face?
And are we talking about the popular radio show or the classic John Hughes film? Because I would love to talk about both.
The morning club that I have joined recently because we enjoy breakfast.
Yeah, and the way you said it sounds like a club that all you guys are aware of that I'm not invited to. Are you guys all members of a breakfast club?
The Breakfast Club. We're talking about the radio show. Go ahead.
Yes.
Charlemagne the God, national radio show. All right, go ahead.
Yes, yeah. I don't know if y'all have noticed, they've been bringing on a lot of like people in the faith space over the last few months. And this week they had a Transformation Church pastor, Mike Todd, on.
What was he? Was he like promoting a book or an album or something? What was he on for?
To be honest, I don't know why he was not promoting anything. I think they just wanted him on to talk.
So
like,
I saw it and I was like, what was he on for? I really was thinking that. And I was like, maybe I'm crazy.
Maybe Charlemagne just had some spiritual questions, maybe. Like, let's bring
They're roasting him pretty much most of the time.
Did you listen to the interview entirely, Marty?
Mm-hmm.
Can you guys recap? Because I scrolled past that. I was just in a place where I couldn't listen to volume, and I have a very short attention span. So then I just kept scrolling. Marty, give us a recap. What was the discussion?
Jesse, Emily's going to. That's the point.
I was about to say, I was like, Emily's going to.
So they did talk about a lot of different things. It does seem like Charlemagne had just some faith questions he wanted someone to answer. I think the most interesting part, and the reason that I'm bringing this up, is because there was a part where Charlemagne kind of asked Mike, he gets really frustrated with Christians who kind of use like the sacrifice of Jesus to do whatever they want. And like they say that they're Christian, but they don't live a life any differently than anyone else would.
Are you meaning like because I'm forgiven or I can do whatever I want kind of thing? Okay.
Yeah. Kind of like, well, I have like unlimited sins, so I can do kind of whatever I want to live. And he was like really frustrated about that. And he asked Mike, like, why are people living like that? And I really appreciated Mike's response. So I'm going to play the clip so you can hear.
Because I've been having this conversation a lot lately. And I've always felt like this my whole life. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe Jesus was a messenger. He was sent here to show us the best example of what we can be. The thing I have a problem with is us as humans.
Yeah.
We act like we have unlimited sins because of the sacrifice that Jesus made.
Yeah.
Why don't we strive to be the best versions of ourselves the way that Jesus did?
Yeah.
As opposed to just sinning and think we can just pray it away.
Yeah, so I think the truth of the matter is people don't understand the cost of what Christ did for everybody. Because if you understood the cost, you wouldn't treat it so cheap.
Exactly.
Wow.
The truth of the matter is it's a fictional story for most people what Jesus did, being scourged and beaten and laid on a cross. And while he's on a cross, he looks over at a thief and literally says, today, if you believe in me, you'll be in paradise. And two guys had a decision to make. And one of them was like, nah, I'm good. And the other one was like, yo, I believe. Like, he's literally getting killed. And he's still trying to show his love for somebody who was a sinner, who did the crime. And so a lot of people, they don't understand how much it costs. And just like in our society today, nobody understands what tax evasion really cost you until you locked up for 15 years. Like, I mean, it's the human nature to you don't know what cheating on your spouse cost until you have to see your kids on visits.
That's right.
That are supervised.
You're right.
Yeah.
We try to romanticize how much things cost, but really it costs a lot more. And so that's why there's a scripture in Galatians that talks about, so now that we've received this beautiful grace, do we keep going on in sin? And it says, of course not. He was like, we don't keep doing the thing that he rescued us from. We got to change in our conduct, in our act, in our love. And that's why the fruit of the Spirit should be love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, self-control. That's what we're actually supposed to be displaying. But it's hard to display that when you think that what happened was a fairy tale or was something back in the day. It's just an historic fact instead of the greatest act of love that we've ever seen.
Yeah, when they say the best apology is changed behavior, I believe the best form of repentance is changed behavior.
You talking big.
Mm-hmm.
You talking big right there. Because repent is not a church word. It just means to turn. That's what repent means. And so a lot of people say sorry, but they don't turn. A lot of people repent in their heart, but they didn't turn. You gone to the altar, you pray, Lord, if you save me out of this, I promise I'll never smoke that, and I'll never shoot that, and I'll never do that. And as soon as you get saved, you right back in the same. So you didn't repent. You just said, I'm sorry. But it's not until you start going a different direction that there's actual repentance. And that's where what you're saying, the change behavior, that's really the modification we all have to make to actually line up with, I think, the plan and the will of God for all of our lives.
Yeah.
What he had to say. I just appreciate that he was pretty much just presenting the gospel on the Breakfast Club.
They also roasted him for his outfits and stuff. So,
They
I mean,
did.
it
Which
wasn't
he
all
handled
just the
well.
gospel.
He did handle well.
Yeah.
What
I love.
was his response? What was the exchange, Marty? Break that down. I'm kind of curious.
All right, real quick. So there's a picture going viral of him. He's wearing this it's like a high waisted yellow leather jacket, short sleeve. And he's got a black outfit on, and he's got these boots, and the boots are like crocodile yellow. And so they were like making fun of him. They're like, is this how a pastor should dress? And Charlemagne's basically just making fun of him. He's like, you've got childbearing hips, like you shouldn't be wearing that. But
It went from it got personal quick.
very quick.
Very
He does
quick.
have
Todd-
childbearing hips.
Yeah, he does. He's got childbearing hips. But
I never
that
thought
was
of that
old.
one, right?
Yeah, that was old Mike Todd too. Mike Todd now is like a medium. He's like flat. I mean, like he's a brick house. He's huge now. And so he's talking about his body type.
We need to have him
and
on
how-
and talk
We
about
should.
workout tips.
No, we
Yeah,
need to let him
no.
defend himself.
He's incredible. No, I think that when I see Mike Todd on any talk show, I always feel like he's gonna preach the gospel and he's gonna share the message of hope. So I love Mike Todd. But yeah, he was just defending these outfit choices and stuff. And people do have a problem with the way he dresses. And he was like, to be honest with you, no one had a problem with me when I was like dressing like a slob and just didn't really care about my outfit. But once I started actually dressing a certain type of way, that's when the comments started. And he's like, the bigger I get, the more I just am going to run into those comments. It's just a part of having a public platform. And so he kind of just chalked it up to that.
Well, there you go.
But it does seem intuitive. Like no one cared when I was dressing normally. What's
Yeah.
the deal?
Until
now
I put
wear
on the mask.
yellow.
Yeah.
Now I put on yellow alligator boots, and everyone's got something to say.
Yeah, well, the big he had his bigger body when he was wearing the yellow outfit.
I
That's
gotcha.
why.
Yeah.
So and it's like it's not a flattering picture, like his legs up in the air, and they know what they're
just
doing.
Silly. It's just
Yeah.
silly.
I'm just.
It's
yeah,
funny.
I'm
All
just
right.
joking.
Okay,
No one
well, that'll
cared
do it
before I
for
put on the mask.
that'll do it for Relevant Buzz. Make sure to check out those stories and more. We had more we were going to bring, but it's time. Our guest is in the lobby waiting to join us. So stay tuned. Right after this break, Chad Gardner will join us. All right. Well, our guest today is Chad Gardner from King's Kaleidoscope. Kings is one of our favorite groups. They're experimental and awesome and always blow us away. They're releasing a new album, Asaph's Arrows 2, this Friday. So we wanted to hear all about it. So welcome to the show, Chad.
Thanks for having me.
You guys are like Marty, you know Chad, right?
I've never met him before, but you know,
Are you
Andy,
serious?
you know all of my friends. Yeah, I never met him before.
Mutual friends everywhere.
Mutual
Yeah.
friends,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
I'm glad we can make this connection happen.
Well, Marty is from Social Club Misfits. He's a fantastic artist himself. You should be friends with him. Collaborate. There you go.
This is a dream rotation, guys. Just kidding. Sorry.
Hey, tell us about the new project. It's like the hymns thing you guys are remaking, right? Is it that?
Yeah, totally. So, I mean, before we were ever like in quotes a band, I worked at a church, 21, 22 years old. And that's where the name King's Kaleidoscope started. We were doing hymn arrangements in Seattle. And, we eventually started making albums and touring, and I left that kind of worship director job. But those hymns that we arranged, and we only put out 4 during that time period, they just, people still have always loved them. And so, to be honest, I'm kind of toying with my artistic integrity a little bit with this project, because for a long time we tried to kind of get away from that. It was kind of like, okay, we've made all these albums we were really proud of, but for some reason, Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing, this arrangement from when I'm like 23 years old, like and I don't know if it's just like the Spotify algorithm likes it in like all these like, pre-post church playlists or whatever, but it's like people still really like that. Like, and so it was kind of a long road to challenge myself with like the gifting that God's given me to be like, I can write all this self-narrative sort of modern psalm type lyrics for King's Kaleidoscope, but what is it that like my mom and her friends just really want to hear me sing Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing? and can I like grow up and mature and humble myself enough to kind of like serve all the maybe honestly maybe people that aren't even really King's Kaleidoscope fans with more hymn arrangements like this. And so we've kind of come back around to that full circle about it. We've been a band for just over a decade now, and so we're cranking out new hymn arrangements, and we're gonna keep doing it. This is just the first batch.
Chad, that's such a cool project because there is a timelessness about hymns, and they
Yeah.
seem to lend themselves to interesting arrangements just because of they have like such a kind of refined structure,
Yep.
But
Totally.
But the one thing about your music, I've always enjoyed it. It kind of keeps people guessing in terms of like new sounds that are incorporated. What have you been listening to lately that you feel like has influenced how you approach the arrangements of these songs?
Lots of glockenspiel.
Oh man. Yeah, lots of glockenspiel. I mean, that's a great question. I don't know if there's necessarily correlating music I've been listening to into these arrangements. Like I said, this process has been sort of it's been a little bit of a like I was saying, like an integrity play where I kind of go like, when I was younger, I was really bullish on Christian music is terrible, and I kind of just had that since I was a teenager. And we're gonna change it and take over the world with more creative music. Which now that I'm in my 30s, it just feels really like kind of cringy and prideful and a little embarrassing. But like we used to do things like, for example, we would say we want our hymn arrangements to be unfranchisable. Like no other church can play the King's Kaleidoscope version because it's too complicated. Or it's like actually like what a real band would do with a real song, where it's really hard to just go play a fill in the blank band, Radiohead, U2. Like it's hard to just pull that off. And churches, for good reason, now I know, like they make things really franchisable. Like, you can make it like it's like a franchise model. So all that to say, in a weird way, these arrangements, I'm trying to actually get over that hump a little bit for myself and make stuff that, like, we're putting out chord charts with every song on our website. And I mean, maybe they're still kind of hard to play sometimes, but I'm actually trying to make stuff that's a little bit more simple and like straight ahead for maybe the maybe the first time in King's Kaleidoscope's life. So
Yeah,
in a way, like I'm not, like, yeah, I saw like Dijon's show last week in Seattle, and he's super inspiring. It was a phenomenal show, and like creatively, that's very inspiring to me. But I'm not necessarily like trying to just force feed that creative inspiration into our like Twyla Paris cover from Lamb of God or whatever.
Lamb of God. You should bring that back.
That's what we did that. We're doing that one's on the album actually. Yeah, it is.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Dude, that's what we
Twyla
need to
Paris,
do.
baby.
Forget hymns. We need to bring back the 70s and 80s
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
we're Christian music.
We're doing some of all of it. They're not on this first batch, Asaph Sarah's 2, but eventually there'll be like probably a third, and who knows how many more collections we'll do like this. But we're also going to try to do like some gospel covers. The only problem is like that whole amazing genre of music, you really need a choir, and like we don't have a choir, so, but yeah.
Yeah. I remember one of the last times we talked, I don't remember what prompted it, but you brought up how much of a Michael W. Smith fan you are and how much you would love to do like covers of him. Like, is that?
Yeah, we might do one of those. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, to be honest, like that, we just like, our band really likes the creative process and the hunt to do stuff that's unexpected. That's how like the Twyla Paris thing came about, Like, to be honest, before we did Lamb of God, we tried, I mean, bro, we spent like, oh my gosh, we spent probably 2 days trying to cover this song, God is in Control. And she just curb stomped us. We could not figure out the arrangement at all. Like we couldn't make it our own. We couldn't do it. So she won that round, but we got Lamb of God. We figured that one out.
You need to do El Shaddai by Amy Grant, like 1982.
Yeah, totally.
That's
there you
the
go.
one.
There you go.
I could hear you guys doing that. That'd be amazing.
Yeah,
anyway,
for sure. I'm into it.
I was gonna say, what is the selection process look like? Because if I'm just running back, because if you're looking at just not church staples with the classic hymns, but you're looking at like old like Assemblies of God bangers. You're looking at Ancient of Days and
Ancient of
Hosanna and all that.
Let's bring back some Ron Canoli. Let's go.
Yeah. What was the filter for what you wanted to incorporate here?
Well, to be honest, I don't know some of those references you're talking about, but it's just anything that we find interesting as a band. And one cool thing about our band is that we're from all over the country. We've got New York, Texas, Philly, like and I'm from Seattle. And everybody's had such a different church upbringing. So like we're starting with this kind of certain, more like just on the nose hymns, Amazing Grace, It Is Well. But also like the pool that we're interested in that we just have like kind of on our whiteboard is pretty diverse. And so we're just going to kind of keep running with it.
Love it.
To get back to that thing I was saying about like our fans growing with our narrative and us not really knowing like if our fans really like the hymns or if that's just a whole different group of people. The other thing we're doing is that on all the DSPs, Spotify, Apple Music, all that, King's Kaleidoscope Hymns is just now its own channel, and it's only all that church music. So it really actually is helpful because we can kind of gauge is that audience sort of a slightly different audience than an audience that would come to a King's Kaleidoscope show, and not be frustrated about it, but just go, all right, cool. Let's just keep feeding arrangements into that lane because there's people out there that really are blessed by it.
So do you see like literally having 2 different shows, 2 different fan bases? You're putting out King's Kaleidoscope music and you're putting out hymns music, and then you do a hymns concert and you do a regular King's Kaleidoscope concert separately, or are you going to blend it all into one experience?
I think there's for sure overlap. But I think there is room for that in the future. Like our band has really been craving, because we live all over the country, we've kind of been craving some kind of like a church residency or like a worship residency where we could just lead worship somewhere all for the same like month or two. Like, could we all come together at some church somewhere and just arrange music every week, play twice a week? Like that kind of an idea is really exciting for us. And that would definitely be something that's very different than our normal, album tour cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that.
Any pastors listening, They're available
Yeah.
if you want to bring
Joel
them.
let us know.
Osteen, pick
Let
up the
us know.
phone.
Yeah, Joel Osteen.
That's
Can you
we'll
imagine
start small.
King's Kaleidoscope? Yeah, King's Kaleidoscope
The
leading
whole
that
choir
Joel Osteen
behind them
church for
just-
2
Dude,
months.
I'll take.
Yeah.
Dude, if we could go there and arrange his orchestra and choir every week, let's do it. That sounds fun.
That'd be sick.
Dude, I think it's awesome you're doing the hymn thing. I'm also impressed too because like when my church will do hymns at the holidays or whatever, and they put them up on the projector, and you're singing along.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, there are a lot of words in these things, man. Like I'm reading them and I can barely keep up. So memorizing hymns from like the 1700s, is
Sometimes
pretty
they don't
impressive.
put words that really are lyrical words in the songs back
Yeah.
then. Like you read the hymn, and it's like incorruptible. Yeah, you're like, okay, how do I feel? The bridge is just incorruptible. I don't. Okay,
It gets a little
One
rough.
word.
It gets a little rough.
yeah.
Back to when I was, in my early 20s as a worship director, and I first started doing this. And like I said, we were trying to make arrangements that nobody else could pull off at their churches, just to, I don't know, be that way. The other rule we had was no sheet music on stage. Be like a real band. You have to memorize all the lyrics to all these hymns, and you have to memorize all the chords and everything. Like, play it like you're a real band, not a worship team. So I for some reason I cut my teeth on memorizing loads of lyrics that way, and it's not as hard for me anymore.
You've been training your whole life for the most
for this
complex
Yeah.
hymns of the Reformation era. Yeah.
Right, for the modern hymn sing nights. That's right. Yeah.
Did you grow up singing hymns, or like was that something you got really into in your 20s?
I grew up singing just kind of a normal amount, but it was a lot of just, praise 90s praise choruses and 2000s praise choruses and stuff. But I would say that in that time period, like 18 to, early 20s, just the church I was a part of, Mars Hill Church, had this like we're better than everybody else attitude, and so we were, like my makeup for, better and worse, probably mostly worse. In that way was like, we're not going to play Hillsong, we're not going to play Jesus Culture. Right. We're going to write our own songs, or we're going to rearrange hymns. You know what I'm saying? And I was never really much of a songwriter at that age, so I was the worship director at one of the biggest campuses. So I was like, well, I'm just got to arrange all these hymns then, I guess, because I'm not allowed to go like sing a Chris Tomlin song. So, yeah, kind of an interesting origin story there. But
I had no idea that you started at Mars Hill. I should have known that. I didn't know that. But
wow.
there have been a lot of amazing artists that have spun out of the collapse of Mars Hill. Like, didn't Dustin Kinsrew, wasn't he there? The guy from Thrice?
Dustin was there for a little bit. Yeah, he did a stint there. Citizens was kind of the other big band out of there.
Just
but there's a couple
covered them
of Ghost Ship.
Yeah,
wow. Totally. Yeah, Zach and I write a ton of songs together. There was another band called the Sing Team. What's really cool is that the kind of the music people that were a part of that church, and I was, I guess to say the music people that were a part of that church, we're all like still going and still friends. And so when that church collapsed, it's kind of interesting. Tooth and Nail they're a record label. They bought out kind of all those like just church EPs we were doing for the church. We weren't like trying to be real bands. We were just making albums for the church or like EPs. They bought it out and they retitled that label Gospel Song Records. But in my head, I was like, you know what? They should just call it Mars Hill Music. They should keep calling it that. Because like 20 years from now, that church is going to be like some footnote or whatever. And Mars Hill Music's a great album name. And all of us bands are still doing. We're not on that label anymore, but we're all still going. It's kind of interesting. We're like the concrete, the rose that grew out of the concrete kind of deal.
Yeah,
it's kind of interesting.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it.
It kind of trips me up that we're like, the only like public facing remnant of that's still like, I know Mark's going crazy now, but like, you know what I mean? Like we're kind of just still
now
cruising,
Tom McDonald does his worship on Sunday. The MAGA rapper, he does their stuff.
Oh,
I think now. I'm just kidding.
I don't know who that is. I'm glad I don't know who that is.
Look up Tom McDonald. He's like
you just told tens of thousands of people that
hundreds of thousands of people are going to be upset. Yeah, don't look him up.
Anyway. All right, Chad. Wow. Asaph's Arrows 2 dropping on Friday. Everybody go check it out. Love seeing the stuff you're putting online and all the videos and the visuals are just epic and stuff. So thanks for joining us today, man.
Yeah,
thanks so much for having me.
How about you, bro?
See you, man.
All right. Okay,
All right,
stay
guys.
tuned. Up next, it's Slices.
Thanks, peace.
All right, it's time for
Slices.
What do you have, Jesse?
All right. Well, there was recently a very big awards ceremony to discover things that make people, this is from their website, laugh, then think. Okay. I really like
In that order.
Yes.
That's the tagline for
critical-
our podcast. What are you talking about?
I know. It's great. Now there's an award
hate
for it,
thinking.
but it has to have some sort of scientific application. It's called the Ig Nobel Prizes. And they basically
Ignoble is a word saying like what does that mean? Ignoble means like bad, silly, not serious, right? And
even the name, Cameron, makes you laugh.
Ig
Then-
Nobel
And then think.
Prize. But it's
Ignoble.
ignoble is like a word. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, I'm just trying
Look
to
at
break
that.
it down.
Smart people would
there's
think of
so
that
many
word.
layers. There's so many layers to this.
Yeah.
Well, they they award scientists for just interesting experiments that like whether foul smelling shoes
Not
influence.
not honorable in character or purpose. So bad. Like
I hate to admit this. Cameron teaches me so many old timey words and phrases all the time. This is the one for the week.
There you go.
You know what? Chad knew it because it's featured in several hymns from the 1700s.
It is.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I
Ignoble
just
adversary.
y'all were
of
looking at me like I
God,
was
thou
crazy.
shalt defeat. Yes.
You guys were looking at me like I was crazy. They're like, hey, their name is a play on words. And you're looking at me like, what idiot? I'm like, no, I had to prove that it is a real word. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
So some of the topics that people have been covering in these, and I don't have all of the outcomes. I have the outcome of the winner, but some of the studies like if bad smelling shoes influenced someone's experience using a shoe rack. Again, I don't really see how that wouldn't affect the experience. Smartphone use on the toilet and potential hemorrhoid risk, which I could see a connection there, I guess.
Wait, what were the results of that one?
Emily's like,
You'd have to contact the Ignoble Society because they haven't released it. No, but the winner wanted to find out if painting cows with zebra-like stripes would prevent flies from biting them. In fact, it does. They got less fly bites. Now, the problem is it's pretty much a useless study because there's no way to scale this on a cattle farm. You can't just go out there and paint all the cows' stripes to prevent fly bites. But interesting research. Now, one of the experiments from a group from
Gliding
Europe, which it's not all that surprising as a European, just from what I understand about their culture. Drinking alcohol sometimes improves a person's ability to speak a foreign language, according to science.
I believe that.
I just like
confidence. The confidence.
I just
is
like
through
that
the
one
roof.
of the scientists is like probably home conducting research, and his wife's like, it's a weeknight. And he's like, I have doing important work here. Probably
look,
who falls
she's so
sick.
It's for science.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's like, it's like
Oh,
we're gonna find how much food and marijuana go together, and the scientist is like, all right, fine, I'll do it. Like, all right, sure, drinking, smoking,
We've been posting about all these.
science.
We've been posting about all these people like embracing sobriety and stuff, and like, it's good. We're cheering them on, like Miley Cyrus a few weeks ago and stuff.
Yeah.
We played the clip, but see, we don't talk about the benefits of not being sober.
To
And
science.
So thank you for science. Thanks for
destroying your
bringing
body.
that.
Yeah, thank you for
Jeez, I
destroying your
know.
body for us.
Ironically, Miley Cyrus does not speak. She's not bilingual, to my knowledge.
That's why she stopped drinking, because it was pointless.
Yeah. An international team also looked at whether giving alcohol to bats impaired their ability to fly. Once again, they seem to have some narrow focus to their research. No, they actually wanted
They're
to
all
see
7 and 8 years old. These scientists, by the way.
No,
They're
they're all
like,
like
what if we
friends
give
at a
liquor?
pub. They get really sauced, and then they're like, what we should test is like, let's give
bats.
bourbon
There's
to
a
that bat out there and see what
Yeah.
happens. Yeah.
It all caused. It was like, there's a bat in the corner. Want to give it some beer? Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's do it. Like, that's
Yeah.
where it all
They
started
put out a
from.
little water dish for the bat, and it's
Yeah.
just beer. Yeah.
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 So,
Whiskey.
they're doing important work there. And so I'm just glad this organization exists and is recognizing important research. Science gets too serious, and we need We need more people like this doing important work for humanity. So
Wait, I have a question. You said like research team won. Do they get like grant money? Do they get a trophy? Like, what's the prize?
They get a free beer at the next Tuesday gathering of all the scientists.
And a bat.
The news
a pet bat.
They have a lot of bats. A lot of bats outside the pub. Yeah.
No, they each get a handmade model of a human stomach. I think because a lot of it involves eating gross stuff. The article went out of its way to say there's no cash involved. There's no cash prize. Each winner is also for some reason given a single hand wipe. So yeah, they're not in it for the money. They're in it
for the hand wipes.
They're in it for the hand wipes. They're in it for the contribution to science. And for some, it seems to be that they're in it so that whatever institution is funding their research, they can drink for free on them, according to some of the research I've done. So,
wait, a hand wipe, like a napkin?
Listen, after you've been handling, they feed the bats with an eyedropper. You got to wipe your hand after you cradle the bat. Yeah.
Or the shoes, or if your main research involves cell phone use and the toilet, you're probably going to want to have a lot of hand wipes involved. So
it's also weird that some of these experiments are like where does the scientist get heroin from? Like giving heroin to like ants. Like what does that have to do with science? How do they even get their hands on that? Jesse?
Well, that's why they have the wipes. They got to clean their hands after they get it. I don't know.
Yeah. That group was arrested at the ceremony.
Why is scientists even thinking about that? You know.
All right, what do you have, Marty?
Hey guys, let's go. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna stop myself from. I don't know why I always do that. You know what it is? It's corporate
Marty
life.
just started. Marty just started speaking French. So listener, you guys figure out what's
in that
happening.
cup, Marty.
Yeah, I've been talking a lot about heroin, guys. The Red Devil, the Red Dragon's after me. Just kidding. I have a really interesting article, especially now more than ever, because as of recently, I'm like a vintage gamer. I don't know if anyone here is a vintage gamer. I like vintage games,
like board games.
More like Roller Coaster Tycoon. Like
I've been really into Dr. Mario lately. For real,
Dr. Mario's incredible. I love Dr. Mario.
Dr. Mario I've beat all the levels. Like I'm out of the game because on the hardest level there's only 100 levels and I beat them all. So then I downloaded a different like knockoff Dr. Mario app, beat all of them, and I'm out of Dr. Mario now.
Well, you know, the original Dr. Mario, the one I used to have as a kid, actually was a 2-part game. It was Dr. Mario and Tetris. So, because people would beat Dr. Mario so quick, but Tetris was like a nightmare at the end. It was just
forever
like dropping like flies. Yeah. So anyway, I'm a vintage gamer. I love games. You know, me and my wife, we don't play games at all, but there are couples that do play games together.
Well, there is. You play mind games with her, but not.
Yeah. We love. Yeah. I love to be toxic anytime I can.
Yeah,
that's my.
That's what I'm saying.
I love
that's
it.
Where I was going.
So in Russia, a couple, they were playing Sims 2, the second version of Sims, which another. They don't speak English, right? You guys know that. Like they have like a Sims language. It talks like
right?
Yeah, it talks like those guys after they have a couple drinks where they're like, I'm gonna, you know, it's like I'm gonna go in the pool. And
that European research team out there. Yeah.
Yes, they're actually it's a Swedish language. Anyway, so these people, this couple, the guy made a separate account in his Sims world and started flirting with other Sims characters in this universe of Sims 2. Well, his girl found out and they're getting divorced now. This married couple is now getting a divorce because of this video game. And so I don't know if anyone's ever, I don't know. I don't feel like we're really gamers in this room. Do you guys, no. I mean, outside of Dr. Mario, like
Dr. Mario. Candy Crush and Dr. Mario.
Yeah, you can't cheat on somebody, but you know, no, I always say this, where there's a will, there's a way. And this guy figured out a way to cheat in an additional version of his game, another profile of his game. So they're getting divorced. It almost reminds me of this young boy who figured out his parents were like, do not talk to this girl. But he found a way on the Bible app to send her messages via
Yep.
Bible app, you know? And
Yep.
so I just think to myself,
And they
But
say
guys-
romance is dead.
Dude, they weren't sending messages. They were sending porn videos back and forth.
Oh,
and
no, I take back what I just
It was
said.
literally a 12, 13-year-old. And the
Oh my
parents put all the...
goodness.
No, listen, it was we reported about it. They put all the parental filters on everything. He had no access to adult websites or anything like that. He started messaging a girl on the Bible app, and they could send videos back and forth, and they got illicit. And the parents got suspicious because then when they looked at the app times on the parental
he's like, he
controls,
loves the Bible.
they're like, he loves the Bible. He's in his Bible app 40 hours a day, 40 hours a week. This is incredible. We love our son. And so they wanted to see what he was doing in the Bible app, what studies he was watching, what videos. And they saw all of these videos that she had been sending him that were
Wow.
illicit. And yeah.
Yeah.
So-
That has to be like a
Guys-
double sin. Like, I mean,
Double
it's-
sin.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's that's
Well,
bad, guys.
Let's ask Mike
Bad.
Todd about that. We need to ask Mike Todd. What do we do about
Well,
double sin?
the less illicit version I remember was going around a while ago. Like it was someone, I think it was you know someone who was in their parents' home, so obviously young. They were like, my parents took away all of my devices. I'm so angry. I'm tweeting from my Samsung smart fridge.
Yes, I love that tweet.
That's so amazing. That's so amazing.
That's good.
That's so
That's
good.
honestly
It's
great
actually-
advertising for Samsung
Yeah.
fridges of like, if
Yeah.
you need to contact someone, here's a fridge.
Well, I actually follow two like addictive gambling guys, the Blanco boys, and they gamble on the fridge and to win the fridge. They're like, we're going to try to win the fridge. So they're in Best Buy losing money by gambling on the fridge live in front of everybody. But anyway, back to the subject. This couple, they were together for years, 3-4 years, and now they are divorcing because of the husband's illicit relationships in Sims 2, which I don't know if you could chat in Sims 2. I don't really know the
Right.
play
How do
model.
you even do that? I know
So
you can in
is it-
Roblox.
I
is
thought
it
it
in
was-
Simonese, like Simonese, like I don't know. The only thing I remember from Sims playing as a kid was taking out, like killing your character, like taking out they're in the pool and you take out the bar so they can't get out, and eventually they just sink. That's as far as I would go.
What?
That's as far.
What?
No one did that.
Marty's like,
Y'all never
Marty's
played
like,
Sims? I
Marty's-
know exactly what you're talking about, Marty.
Thank
Marty's
you.
like, the only thing I
It's
remember is
dark.
the countless Sims I murdered via drowning, and
If they
their
did
last-
something
their last
stupid,
utterance of Sims
Yeah.
language before they perished. I
if they
remember
did something
that
stupid,
quite
they're gone.
vividly.
They're gone. They're gonna get.
Oh my
uh,
God. You're
You're
get
like
drowned.
Vern.
You would
You
herd them
and-
into the community pool and then just remove the ladder and they all drown.
Yep, that's it. They all drown there. They all drown. There's also other ways to do it and stuff like that. I don't know why I just said that, but
that is
there are other ways.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now I want
we'll
to go
have
check
some-
out.
Yeah, we're all gonna be
Sims.
playing Sims as a company. But
Hey, maybe
yeah,
that's how
this
we
is-
meet, Emily. You and I can meet people on The Sims. There you go. It's a new.
Not if they're
Yeah,
gonna
well-
kill me.
I know there's a girl single now who plays Sims 2. If you're interested, she's a part of the article. Kasaya from Russia would love to meet you now.
That's hilarious. All right. Well, listen, we got to wrap slices there. We are out of time, everybody. That was a lot of fun with Chad today. It was cool.
great.
Go check out
Yeah.
That's fine.
their new album, which is Asaph's Arrows 2. And every time I saw this name on the rundown, Asaph's Arrows, I got nervous. It's like Aesop Rocky, and I'm saying it wrong. Am I saying it correctly? Asaph? Is that
It's
the
Asaph,
biblical pronunciation?
yeah,
Okay, good.
it is.
There you go.
But now I will
Asaph's
be
Arrows.
calling it ASAP Rocky's
ASAP,
Arrows too.
yeah.
Yeah, I like
Aesop's
that.
Arrows 2 coming out this Friday. Marty, before we wrap, you need to tell everybody you just released last Friday, because it's coming out on Tuesday, a big new project. Please tell us about it.
Yes. Wow. Thank you guys for giving me this platform to do such a thing. Yeah. So I started a label a couple years ago, 2 years ago, actually 1 year ago, technically. And so this is our sampler from the label. Every song on the project is from one of my artists and one of my producers that I've signed. I'm really excited about it because to be honest with you, when I first got saved, my mom ran over my Dr. Dre 2001 and Limp Bizkit CDs and Eminem. She took me to the Christian bookstore, and I'd always get these samplers. They would always have like Lamp Mode sampler, or they would have like, certain labels would have this, and it was tradition. Like Rockefeller Records had it. It was just a mainstream. Just give a little, just the pink spoon, not the full sundae. And so this is what that is. This is just a showcasing of all my artists. It sounds incredible. You kind of will catch the
awesome.
culture of what we do, and it's doing really well. And we're excited about I'm really excited about what God is doing in each one of my artists' life, because I'm seeing their confidence. I'm seeing them, like in our world, the best thing you could do is be a good dad. And I'm loving seeing my guys manage being fathers, being artists, and also being authentic and saying no to opportunities that would possibly take them off, the beaded trail. And so we're all really focused. We're all really excited. And I really think that you're going to love this project. It really has something for everybody on it. You can check it out.
That's awesome, man.
I'll say for real, like Marty's putting out some of the best music.
Cam always
that
hypes me up.
exists right now. Dude,
Cam, Cam literally picks beats for me now at this point. Like I'm like, Cam, like
he's literally one of my top five
favorite
favorite artists. Yeah, he's incredible, and the label's incredible. The diversity of talent is incredible. Marty, I'll tell you offline. I just grabbed coffee with AO, the producer, the guy who does Cardi B, Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion. He did WAP. He did, like all this stuff. He's a believer. And I'm putting him on to you. Like we're there at the place. I'm like pulling up stuff. I'm like playing it. Like he was blown away, dude. I'm telling you, Apollo is about to blow up. I can't wait for people to hear this project. So
you're gonna make the Christian
Thank you guys for enjoying it.
I can't wait.
And I think
WAP.
that that's something we would do. But I think that you have Reach Records, you have Indie Tribe, you have God Over Money. And now we want to have this Apollo, RMG as well. RMG is very important because we're actually an extension of RMG. But RMG Apollo is a thing, and Derek is one of our mentors. I have one thing about my label is I'll have these guys talk to, and we'll have a meeting like this with somebody who could teach us like how to do our publishing. And so I don't want my guys at the label to just make good music. I want them also to understand the business, because beyond me, I need them to learn how to fish. I don't want me to be the guy who is always providing opportunities. And so all of my guys are just ready to learn, and they're just hungry and excited, and that's the goal: humble and hungry.
Humble and hungry and talented. That helps too, and thankfully
does. Hard work always pays off.
All right. Okay, on that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang. Hey, wait, name of the album. And people can just get it wherever.
Yeah,
but
it's called Proof. It's called Proof of Concept, and it was called that by the idea started actually during Holy Smoke Fest. So we actually made it right after, like the Airbnb during Holy Smoke. It's called Proof of Concept, just to show people that this process, what we're doing, it works. We're gonna show you guys. So
let's go. Proof of Concept's out now. Go check it out, everybody. All right, I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Emily Brown.
I'm Marty.
We will see you next Tuesday. Hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Help us get word out about the video show. All right, thanks, guys. See you next week.